Hi everyone, H.G.A Medium here, hola, coming through with the video, understanding rapid changes in society, controversies, innate callings, and the self-journey. Events that can polarize a nation can occur at any point in time within the journey of life. One day society is predictable, and then the next day you don't recognize anyone. You may have a hard time recognizing yourself in the midst of cataclysmic social shifts. Politically charged topics can offer debates rapidly, but physical events touching the hearts of communities and strangers in distant parts of the world cannot be ignored. These conversations will always find its way to you, and this day and age, it feels as though an opinion is always a requirement. There's no true way to bypass these events. How does a person offer an informed opinion in these verbal arenas where one bad word can give way to miscommunications that are disastrous, or worse, create the pathway for additional violence? You must answer and answer with confidence. If you don't have an opinion at the time for the plausible reasons or don't have all the information, then say so. This video is about how to answer the calling within to create change, or how to be a part of change, how to contribute where you can, or when you simply want to be the observer, when the calling may not exist for you, but you are aware of the current changes. Rapid changes are very real, and many can speak of the trail of progress being incredibly, painstakingly slow. The main point of understanding rapid change is to understand it's unavoidable, and it can affect anyone, regardless of who they are. What you can avoid is the false response and offer the prepared response. Being prepared for rapid change is knowing yourself best and where you are the brightest, showcasing your intelligent authenticity, the form of you, the conversations you can abide by. There is no other time on earth like this current time. When casually reviewing the latest articles and delving into the latest headlines, the perpetual question I tend to ask myself is, how does anyone have time to process all this information? Lately, every piece of news is heart-wrenching or can have the stomach in knots. Can anyone truly catch their breath? If there are those willing to step forward and act on behalf of those who have been silenced, are they doing well? Are they doing well? How taxing has it been? Is there a reprieve as the current time feels as though it may feel impossible to contend with? I know I feel that way. I feel incredibly grateful that there are those who I believe are superhuman and have incredible stamina to lead these fights, where even at times I can say I'm exhausted. I'm a person of color, I'm Latina, Afro-Dominican. Discussion after discussion, I can feel at times no one may understand the true meaning of the words they use in a country that feels a bit like a powder keg. Hypocrisies, death, bloodshed, and eternal callings for justice exist within everyone. In the present time, if you're simply relying on the news, these callings, they don't spare anyone. There's always an undercurrent of ever-moving energies keeping us all connected in this time, but one can admit that it feels binding. So I just want to break free from it. The energies to engage this battle, these multiple battles, this huge battle of rights, is teaching us. Ready for War, the opening line in the iconic song Twins by Big Pun featuring Fat Joe, appeared in my mind earlier today. I believe what I had experienced is happening to more and more citizens across the world. Across the world, everyone is feeling that way. Providing a bit of insight into the subconscious. The subconscious knows this time better than our minds ever could. Alright? So much information is stored there about your current life, and every time your soul was in a biological form, that information exists as well. Other planets where you lived, as well as planet Earth. Just to kind of give a quick grasp of the subconscious for this video. The personal subconscious also has access to the future, has access to future events as well. It seems as though for many, the subconscious selves are speaking right now. Forgive me. It's not just happening to me, but it's happening to us all subtly or in the overt fashion. For me, it's overt, but it's subtle. The way I express everything is subtle. Some might say, Heather, where have you been? Duh, we've been knowing it. And then I go, I know. I'm always feeling the call to do more. That is a standard in my life. However, I keep thinking of others where the experience is incredibly new. And it can happen to anyone at any point in life. And I feel as though there's tremendous amounts of proof in regards to this. It always happens in the most controversial times in history, and it's meant to. Because why would it be easy? What? If you cannot hear, or better yet feel the call, try to read into the latest news occurring in regards to the occurrences in America, or specifically in your community, to narrow the scope. If you are actively searching where you should engage the current political battles that are present right now, that is a great way to start. Try to pinpoint the part of yourself where the need to answer a call, where is it? The need to answer a calling. It's there. If you've been feeling the need to do something, it exists. If you feel the need to do something or to do more, it's there. The field doesn't have to be so broad, but determine where you are impacted by decisions being made by others. This exercise is not designed to overwhelm anyone. It's not designed to overwhelm anyone, but it is to remind everyone, especially people who are always on a solo journey, it's for them to know they're not alone and how they have been feeling. Not everyone is oblivious to the troubles and causes that have the power to reshape our society. Ask yourself from the distant perspective. Ask yourself genuinely. Are you happy with your community, your state, providence? Remember, one small act of change, and I'm not kidding, can do a lot. Just even knowing about a conflict changes a conflict. The state of helplessness you see depicted on the news or what you read in the paper is very, very real. Assuming you are not directly affected, imagine yourself being the spokesperson for change in that moment, post-incident, right when it's at the height of it. What would you say in order to ensure your personal reality and permit a reality of peace in others whom you know and for others whom you don't know? The answers to where to begin are in those moments where your intuition kicks into high gear. Passion ignites, and internal dialogues for dedication can occur within yourself. The issues with rapid change, as much as it gives various permissions for real integrative progress within society, bringing everyone together, is the surmounting levels of fear in which many can run from the important discussions. These are the discussions shaping the physical reality as well as the personal realities of the all. The first priority is always to protect the mind. The first priority is always got to protect your mind and the emotional body. It can be difficult. It can be difficult in a world that offers traumas as if there were an unlimited supply. It's so hard, and I know that feeling personally. Not everyone is meant to answer the loudest calling, to be the physical facilitator of change. Roles of that nature are meant for those who are ready to lead, and most importantly, those who will care about their following. But there it is right there. There it is right there in the pit of your stomach. The need to act. Don't ever ignore it. Don't ever ignore it. Just for you to always keep in mind your emotions and feelings are incredibly valid. Even at the times when the internal cry can be overbearing. Words, statements, conversations giving a whiplash effect to your senses as you are attempting to navigate the shifting environment. You have no way of completely avoiding these very, very important conversations. It starts with being the person you would love to meet should you be in the perspective of someone who has known of PRL. PRL is personal reality loss. That happens to a lot of people in this recent time, even myself included. I'm not a stranger to it. Assuming all has been going well in your life and you can extend yourself to an agreeable extent, the change the loudest spokesperson in the political fields is asking for is at the mercy of your hand. At the mercy of your hand. Your input. If you're tired of viewing the blatant injustice, discrimination, or intolerance in its worst forms, then you cannot harbor the feet of the lowest cycle. You can't contribute to those cycles in any which way. You have to rise above it. If you want to honor the calling you are feeling and you are aware of the genuine limitations you are facing, just remember in this context, limitations are not always negative. You have to remember that people can only do what they can do. One person can only do so much. That's a real truth that I want everyone to sit with. All you can do is honor the highest of the high. That is the part of you that is still in touch with God, if you share the same beliefs I do. That's the force that had given you life, the higher self. The higher self who is asking you to evolve to be a part of the calmest tides in those moments where you feel as if there's too much going on. The calmest tides creating space for the biggest waves of the change everyone really desires. You will have to adjust or adapt to the constantly mutating social conditions that can end lives as you had known it to be, or it can give way to the camino, the journey of the dream world that is dying to exist. Alright? There's no way around it. You cannot bypass it in any way. Many make changes to survive for themselves and their loved ones. Good on you, good on you. That is tremendously important and expected. But once more, if that nagging feeling persists, then really focus on that part of the self. Know you are a part of the future. Know that you are. You are probably thinking about the famous individuals of the modern day society that are a part of politics, or individuals who are distant from politics within the diverse entertainment fields, who are so bold and they capture your attention unapologetically. I get asked all the time in regards to this. What about the trailblazers, the stone throwers, or the warriors? People like them. They have a role. And they fulfill it well. You will never ever agree 100% to how every change happens to reignite a conversation linked to your existence and your future. Extreme political figures and counterculture icons of the past and present have all, forgive me, they have all pissed someone off. This is still the most liberal time in American history and around the world. Yet in this time, we are in the most controversial era, rivaling the past with great intensities. Remember, you're not going to have every victory, but you will see change, and that's needed. Follow the deepest parts of your heart and act from those places. And if necessary, be just the minor tipping points to the change. That is making a difference. You do not always have to join every single organization bearing the relatable message with the ego-stroking group. You know, those ego-stroking groups that know how to touch every single emotional chord to the point you can get sick. You can get sick and find yourself lost in the fray. Not everyone is meant to be on the front lines of every charge, and showing gratitude to those who do. Showing gratitude to those who do is a great way to show appreciation. That's one of those minor steps. Remember, one small step, one big difference. Alright? I cannot ignore the amount of anxiety I sensed when I was visiting certain communities and partaking in discussions that were incredibly important to the future of the state I live in. I live in New York, and the country I live in, New York, America. Keep in mind this. There are so many who are so afraid to say what's on their mind and want to give their own energy as well as time, but they cannot take the risk for whichever reason. Forgive me, whichever personal reason. Know that I see you and others too. There is a mutual respect being shared and extends to the silent ones too, especially the people who others attempt to silence. I see you, I see you, I see you. I am no stranger to the hate that the world offers. And having thick skin, the current time doesn't require thick skin. It requires a strong mind, an understanding of every armor available, and the will to fight for what is right. There are people who will risk life and limb for the right to simply exist. The horrors viewed in the latest footage from protests here in the United States in regards to ICE, protests around the world challenging governments. Can you with confidence admit it is a little bit scary? And for those who are able to ignore it for whichever reason, as they may not feel the call to act, are they sensing the emotions? You know, I'm in America, I live in New York, like I said. Are they sensing the emotions of America and how their reality has been altered? Let's say a truth here, another truth. No one wants to be blindsided. At the very least, many would say, myself included, the best way to traverse the present time is to simply stay informed. You have to stay informed. Right? You can't be too distant. The worst part is when it touches you and you didn't think it could happen in your neighborhood or your personal life, but that is very, very real, where people were caught off guard. The signs of a heavy shift in our time is available prior to the moment a social event or a big political event or huge legal events that the world knows of, anything pertaining to the Supreme Justice, things like that. Just peek every now and then to the political climate is my advice. It serves you well later on, and you can't debate it. It's 2026. This is powerful stuff I'm saying. These are powerful moments and discussions transpiring right now, and if you have to place yourself first, then do so feeling unashamed. Don't ever feel ashamed that you have to put yourself first. Knowing by supporting quietly and offering what you can is really what many are searching for as they scan through the community. Do not feel less than because you cannot go out and march or you may feel afraid to with what we've been viewing on the news. Give what you can. You do not need to offer an opinion every time you socialize in regards to the hardest topics. It is okay to give yourself a break and step away from these very politically charged conversations. It's okay to. I know I have done it when I just get tired, where it's painful. It doesn't mean that you have abandoned your place or your viewpoint. It means you're taking care of yourself. In order to give the best of yourself when the time arrives where you may have to. It's very, very real. In relation to the protest in America, know your rights and be safe. It is all anyone could ask. Knowing those who are protesting, they are exercising their constitutional rights. Beautiful, beautiful. That's how you get things done. Drawing attention to the protests, these moments, they're very important no matter where you stand in terms of political beliefs. You are seeing the America many people knew existed, and how the accurate facade can be glossed over in times of peace in favor of upholding the ideal American image. That American image does not exist for everyone. Definitely the right and the left side of the fence can agree with that. Huge debates gripping the country still. So it's very, very, that's going to be my phrase, very, very real. Know that you're not alone in these moments of anxiousness when receiving the news and seeing what everyone was always afraid of. Know this, everyone handles fear and anxiety differently. Do not spend needless hours comparing yourself to others unfairly. Remember to reorient yourself often if need be. Hold yourself accountable for you. And that is another tiny step offering the bigger changes society needs. Ooh. I hope this video lends its intended purpose as I took the time to tune into the vibrations of America, New York, where I live, and you know, my local communities. These general unidentifiable vibrations all have the element of uneasiness, despite class, orientation, gender, ethnicity being the common dividers, but it makes up the vibration everyone encounters to begin with. While the overall well-being of the majority, these are, the overall well-being, these are the members of society that lend the most in regards to the vibration of the grand society, it seems to be all right. These vibrations fluctuate and can oscillate. Everyone knows the current time, the second you tune into the harshest topics with society, if there's a protest going on, you may feel as though you may plunder or fall, or if there's just issues occurring in your neighborhood, every neighborhood can be different. You may experience anger, sadness, sorrow, or experience true grief as if you were mourning a real personal loss. Believe it or not, that is actually normal. And I feel that way a little bit when I go out in town. It's what makes you human, when you can sympathize with others and can touch pain, real pain, with discretion and compassion. Always remember to take care of yourself, and remember, answering a calling can begin with just the small steps. Begin with the small steps. Stay away from envy and jealous people. Think of you only. Stay safe. Stay informed. Know this, I'm always taking appointments. Contact me if you're interested in my divination services, my coaching services, my hypnosis services, or my healing services. I love everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.